Hello everyone, today we are analyzing SPL game and semi-finals game between DICE and Soulwind, two mainstays of the tier competitively since forever basically. And both players obviously really want to win. Both players didn't deliver quite as well as most people expected, I would say, so far, but hey, now is their chance to salvage the season, and obviously a win here would be massive for both teams. So what do we have here? DICE is a pretty interesting weatherless team. He basically forgoes Tyranitar for a GRC, which opens up a few things. You could run, say, Scarf GRC as a Tyranitar half replacement, but I think that's pretty weak because you're just worse Tyranitar, right? You do check the psychics, but only barely and only for a limited time, so probably not. Another option would be to Scarf the Landorus and then maybe run like Mix Chomp, Chain Chomp, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast. Good. And for the Ferrothorn, just Spikes, Life Orb Zam. Latios could be anything on this setup. Could be Calmine Lamberry, or could be, I don't know, just Kolbur to support the Zam, or could be even Specs. So you have a trick in case you face Stalled, or you have Spikes and Life Orb Zam. Anything else? They're actually, I expect this to be Scarf Landorus and like Mixed Chomp. I think that's the best setup, and they're actually, it's probably maybe not expert belt, but 4 attacks. There's also the possibility of this being like Body Slam Wish, but without spikes, I think that's a bit too greedy. Though it's not even that hard to get spikes up into this if you have Scarabary, right? Ferrothorn is free spikes, Latios potentially, Landorus is free spikes, and Derachi himself, obviously. So yeah, I think this is just 4 attacks. As for Soulwind's team, hasn't he run something like this already this season? Clef, Titar, Exca Gliscor, maybe in the last few weeks of regular season. So this team is it good? I don't know. So you have like strong paralysis support with Rotom and Clef, and Gliscor obviously patches up the Excadrill weakness that Clef brings to a point. You also have Rotom Wash, so obviously that's also nice. Keldeo could be anything. Most people will run Protect on this and like leftovers. Maybe you can also run specs for the breaking power. You have Tyranitar for the Latios, obviously. Or you could run anything really. Calm Mind, 3 attacks, 4 attacks expert belt, or 4 attacks leftovers even. The Gliscor is probably the Stealth Rock user. You could make a case for Clef. I'm not a fan of Rock's Clef. I think you really need the slots to make the most out of this mon. And Rocks kind of block you from doing that. Anything else? Excadrill, I have no idea. Could be Scarf, or it could also very well be like Scarf, Trick Scarf, Rotom Wash. Titar, I'm expecting Chomp or Berry, the usual. You really need that on this, or stuff gets really hard to beat. Mostly Zam. So would you want Scarf Excadrill on this? Oh, I don't think you do. I think you run Protect, Spin, Earthquake, Iron Head. That's what I would run. You can also run Swords Dance, obviously, depending on your Gliscor set, probably. But I think it's just Stealth Rock's U-turn, maybe? Knock? You can run no Earthquake with Rotom on the team, probably, so I guess this could be a possibility. Or it could also, I don't know, you can run whatever on Gliscor. You just Toxic, Protect, Stealth Rock, whatever, Earthquake, sure, why not? Though I'm expecting knock U-turn protect rocks, because you have Rotom anyway for Exca. It's not a perfect counter, but it gives you outs, right? Like you turn out if you see Sword Dance, you go Keldeo, and you didn't progress against Exca, but if this is a strong Keldeo set, you can win before the Escadrille does. Alright, leads probably Rotom for Soulwind. You can also lead Clef. I don't hate Clef lead here. Pretty weak to Landorus, and we've also seen Andrews snipe a Clefable in last video with Scarf Superpower, so maybe not. Maybe just lead. You can also just lead Gliscor and click Protect. There's no immediate danger for the Gliscor. The main problem will be a Jirachi lead that reveals Ice Punch, because then you're kind of scrambling for answers. And or if it's Calmine Latios and Calmine Store 1, but you don't carry a Titar. And a Clef too, actually, yeah. So you lead Gliscor, I think. And for dice, I don't know. You lead Jirachi if it's for attacks. You can also lead maybe Chomp. Problem with Chomp lead is that if your opponent leads Keldeo, you're kind of in a terrible spot. I'm assuming this is Chain Chomp with rocks. What else can you lead with? Lando? I think Jirachi is your best lead, if you are the set I'm thinking. Even as long as you're not Scarf, I think you lead Jirachi here, actually. Yeah, let's see if the players agree. Sorry, 1 second, slow. Oh, it is Trick Scarf, okay, sure. And that's a hard meteor miss. That's unfortunate, but you know, Mons is Mons. Would have done decent damage, and you like Rotom low for Jirachi mostly. Okay, Rocks, Clef. Never mind, I said I hate it, but I guess Soulwind doesn't, so he gets them up. Now, Ferrothorn Spikes. Seismic Toss. Nice, cheap. It was Land Ferrothorn too, so no para. So this is just attacking, because Clef is parad, you can crate too. You could also miss, obviously, but with para, it's in your favor, so you just attack and force things out. Gliscor comes in, takes some nice chip. And you don't heal on the first turn of Toxicorp, so that's nice for dice. Immediate Landorus on Gliscor, but now you reveal your Landorus set, which may or may not be a problem. So you see no leftovers. So first thing you should think of is that this is probably Scarf. However, harding Scarf Landorus in on Gliscor like this is kind of crazy, because your HP Ice doesn't do much damage, but you kill Gliscor in 2 hits if it starts slightly less than full health, and you can bait it, right? Your opponent can grid, although I don't think Soulwind is going to do it. It also depends on Gliscor's 4th move, so. Or moves in general. We've seen people run no Earthquake, but I'm on this 6, I will run Ice Fang Earthquake. So the reason is that you have Clef for enemy Rotom Wash, and you should probably kill it. Like, you can PP stall it, basically, and you cannot play it. It's also likely that you trick a Scarf on it early game. It might also not be Sand for Seska. So you have a lot of ways to answer Rotom. And Ice Fang is pretty nice, because it gives you also... It makes your Gliscor a check to things like D-Knight, especially with Sand up, so I like that. Now, Power Whip did 31, so this is probably... Head Calc is failing me. I think it is specially defensive, but not full maybe. I think it's impish still. It might also just be a roll, so don't take it for granted. But anyway, here, so obviously Soulwind protects because it's a scouting dice moveset. You only, even if you protect reveals itself to be a liability, let's say that Landorus Swords Dance, you're still fine if you're Ice Fang. So you can just protect here. This is also why I think it's protect, by the way. If it's Ice Fang, sorry. If it wasn't, maybe you can make a case for not protecting, but okay, let's see what happens. Although I think this is Scarf Landorus. Could be Yache. Yache has seen some use. I guess we'll find out this turn. Okay, we gain nothing from this. Although, another thing to consider is that turn 1 you scouted the Garchomp item. It was Life Orb, so it's possible that it's the Stealth Rock user. It's pretty likely, in fact, that it is. So, Yache Berry seems unlikely to me. I'm in the Scarf camp. I guess we'll find out this turn. Alright, so Wind doesn't care, and is Facade and crits. Oh, obviously wouldn't have killed without crit, but if this is Scarflandorus, you'd rather not crit, I think. You can just protect again and then switch out, you get a free turn. Although you don't really have much good HPI switch-ins, like Rotomy's Life Orb, so maybe not. I mean, bit lucky, but I don't know. Lando would have been great, though. There's the Excadrill on the other side, and it's always nice to have into Clef. You just Airquake the Clef for 40%, and eventually you crit it. That's the game. So yeah, pretty lucky turn from Soulwind. Let's see, what do you do here if you're the dice? Oh, you just got Zam and reveal your set, basically, but that's fine. Okay, this might be a finessing though, because, you know, I've seen people assume it's HPIs in this situation and just switch out and then get HP fired. This could very well be Sash Zam, though I don't think it is. I think it's just Life Orb, and the HP fire is just dice going for outplay. I guess I don't think so. Wind stays in after that game versus Ruer where he got Life Orb HPIs. I think he's got a bit worried about the Zam using hidden power on this Gliscor, and I don't blame him. Okay, looks like it was fire or dices, setting up a very long-term play, which will be pretty cool. So let's see what happens. Double Garchomp Rod Pain Split? Yeah, you Pain Split. Because everything on the enemy team is full except the Ferrothorn, but you know, you're only giving it like, what, 5% health? Because Rotom is weak. And then, so yeah, you just Pain Split. Now Garchomp is stuck in here. You could probably just click Ball Switch. Oh, Dice doesn't care. Hard Reckless again, okay. And so when Wall switched, and yeah. Oh, now he switches. Okay, let's see what Soulwind does. Pain Split, plus 13%. Nice. Vault back into Gliscor, probably. So Power Whip did 31, so yeah, there's 34. Okay, no, this is especially defensive. I mean, I was considering it maybe being impish, max special defense, but that HPIs from Orlando doing 50%, I think, confirmed that this is just max special defensive. So what do you click here as Soulwind? Protect is a obvious move, kind of. I guess you protect, you don't really care, because nothing that switches in can threaten you. You can just protect again, because protect fails on a switch, obviously. And going aggressive with, say, an Airquake, I don't see it. I will just protect here. Oh, never mind. Oh. Oh, okay. Goodbye, Gliscor. Goodbye, Miss Gliscor. Alright. I don't think Sword Dance was the right play. I guess it's fine if the Latios is not like specs, so you're like, oh yeah, Sword Dance, opponent goes Latios, and then I just rotate into Facade, or just hard Facade even, I don't know. Depends on how you're feeling on the turn, and then you kind of just win. But Dice goes for a very nice explosion here. He correctly analyzes the situation and thinks, okay, so we might just worse dance because he thinks he leaves everything from me, except it didn't, right? It just dies to explosion, and that's a very good way of killing Glycecore, which was a pretty big threat for Dice. It kind of fooled Zam. Maybe the Rachi 2, Garchomp 2 obviously without Life Orb doesn't do enough, and potentially the Latios as well. So yeah, very nice explosion, good job. As for Soulwind, I understand why he would Swords Dance again. It doesn't win on the spot, but it puts so much pressure on Dice that it's probably worth it to go for it. If you like, Fertor cannot kill you without explosion, right? So you're like, yeah, I'll just Swords Dance on it, then get Poison Heal, then probably attack. But yeah, this was Soulwind's main win condition. Keldeo can still win if Titar manages to kill Zam and Latios, which I'm not sure is happening, but hey, it's possible. Excalibur is also pretty strong, though your only ground resist is Rotom, who is low, and Life Orb, so there's a chance we see the Scarf Earthquake. If it is Earthquake, some people don't even run that. I assume this is. Let's see how it shapes up. Okay, what do we do here, actually? If I'm Soulwind, you probably... And do you go Rotom? I guess you have to go Rotom if you're Soulwind. So the reasoning behind Rotom is that you sacrifice it to one of the Psychics and then get a free trap. Or if Garchomp comes out, you can at least try for the outplay and just hard clef. And Jirachi, I don't know. If it's Energy Ball, you die, but you know, at that point, I think I would take the risk. For Dice, I think your play is Jirachi. Unless you are not Energy Ball. But you have to be. I think Garchomp is too weak of a play. I think Jirachi, but we don't know the Rachi set yet, so maybe I'm just completely mistaken, which possible, likely even. I will go Rotom for Soulwind and Jirachi for Dice, if the sets are what I'm thinking. Rotom Wash and Jirachi comes out. Alright. Maybe I'm not completely lost. Double into Chomp. So what? Draco is a roll to kill. It did 51% on turn 13, so it's probably a roll in I don't know whose favor. Do you go for it? I think you have to, right? You just Draco with Chomp. I would. For Soulwind, probably switch to Clef. It's not the best kind of risk the Clef like that, but yeah. I think you will just go Clef here, and probably Draco with Chomp. Other possible plays, if you're insane in the brain, you hard Zam here, which, I mean, probably not. I've seen crazier plays work. Latios definitely no. No, I think I just attack actually. And for Soulwind, you probably have to go Clef. That's what I expect to happen. Clef and Draco. Okay, so here's an interesting one. Clef has two plays here. Actually, no, you're not T-Wave. Oh, so you're forced to soft boil, but then Rachi comes in. I guess you can knock if you expect the Rachi to come in, but probably not. You probably just soft boil, and then the Rachi. What do you do against Chirachi then? You just hard Exca? I guess. You can hard Keldeo. I guess you could hard Keldeo actually. Okay, I think here dice goes Rachi and Soulwind soft boils, and then you should probably hard Keldeo onto the Rachi. It's very dangerous. There's no non-dangerous plays in Soulwind spot, I think, so just do that. Hard knocking is not a play, I think, because there's a chance so dice just stays in. So he could do that because he could fish for a crit and or a full para, and then Clef will die. Then you can kind of win with Chomp. Or anyway, that's what I would do. The Clef cannot do much into you anyway. It's knock soft, Seismitos rocks, so I think I will Draco again. You can also switch if you are not feeling it, yeah. This was my original play. Oh, there it is. And you know it's leftovers. Doesn't tell you much. Probably you can go Rotomir somewhat safely and then Pain Split. I think that's what's happening. You see it's 7%. Very low attack investment. 0 in fact, probably. So Rotom Pain Splits here, right? Oh, never mind. Hard wall switch. That's pretty nice. Okay, so here you crunch, right? Or do you pursue it? I think you crunch. Or you can do this. That's specs damage. Could be. Yeah, it is. Okay. I mean, I assume it is because so we made this play. Oh, that's a bad crit. Keldeo does not. Keldeo will take what? 26? Keldeo will die to Sun next turn because of this crit. So I think you attack anyway with your HPIs or Ghost, whatever you have. But that's very unfortunate because you lose Keldeo. And Rotom is low. Chomp is starting to look very scary. Same with Rachi, really, but you have an Excadrill, and you know this Rachi is pretty weak. Looks weak at least, so I guess you just go for that. Okay. If I'm Soulwind here, I just click the move that kills Latios, and then they will both die. Surf will do 25, 26, and then Keldeo dies to Sand, and well, Latios just dies because its health will reach 0. Insane analysis, right? And then, well, that's what I expect. We don't really have another play if you're Soulwind. No, definitely not. Just go for it. 30%. Okay. Empower. Both die. Here, I think you go Excadrill. Or not. Clef. I say Excadrill because it beats Rachi and can beat them depending on a few things. Yeah, obviously you get annihilated by Chomp. However, you can just hard Clef into the Chomp if it comes to that. I guess this is... No, I think I would have gone Exca, but I mean, seeing how it played out, it didn't matter. In fact, this is better because you take one less spikes around. Also, you keep your Excadrill set hidden, which could be big in the upcoming turns. Okay, Clef dice. Here you definitely Pain Split with Rotom. Rashi comes out, you Pain Split, and you will go almost full. Yeah, nice. Very nice healing. So there are a few problems for Soulwind here. One Scarf Chomp wins if Rotom dies. Like Earthquake just annihilates what's left on the field. So Zam is still a mega menace, but so is Jirachi. You only have Excalibur for it. Okay. The thing here, it depends on the Rachi set. So if it is your turn, you just your turn here, right? And you might be slow. You're probably slower. I'm at this point, I think this is especially defensive, Rachi. And so if that is correct, you probably just body slam here. If I'm wrong, and this is mixed, it gets a little bit more interesting, because your best move to hit Rotom is probably Thunder. It's not Energy Ball, obviously, or I would have clicked it a while ago. He had a very good chance of doing it. You could also wish. You know, this Rotom is not Will-O-Wisp. Obviously, it's Hydro Pump last. But the problem with Wish is that you still have a... You risk giving Excadrill a free in, and then one Earthquake is one kill from this point. So you cannot do that, probably. So I think you have to Body Slam. Assuming it is Body Slam, which I think it is. Okay, so when Hearts Excadrill in... No, Iron Head. Okay, so are you faster? Oh, is this Ashzam? Oh, it was Ashzam. So it was Ice, and so wow, okay. Alright. One shot at glory for Soulwind. Just dodge the Focus Blast. Actually, no, you have to, like, you cannot hard Titar and hope to dodge one of two Focus. You need Titar healthy, because else there's a non-zero chance the Scarf Draco Meteor Chomp will kill you. Although you could do that with Titar too, but I think you just spin here and believe in yourself. Actually, you probably do not spin. Like, the spin is a flex, probably just Earthquake. That's what I will click. Okay, if Focus Blast misses, then you go Chomp, and then you are kind of losing the game, actually. So 70% win chance for Dice. Getting dicey. Oh, man. Alright. Yeah, you click Focus Blast and believe in yourself. So when you click Earthquake and believe in yourself. There's also a chance that this Excadrill is very bulky and tanks Focus Blast, I think. That's a possibility. Although I wouldn't expect that to be the case here. I think it's just mega offensive Excadrill. Like 252 speed Jolly, 252 attack. That's it. Maybe... Oh, and no, it's dead. And now it's done. Because Titar, you just attack it with whatever you have. Yeah, Signal being short, some damage. Some dice. Is there an out for Soulwind? Is Rotom cool to win, technically? It's very... Oh, it was Thunder. And doesn't get the para. That's... I think this is enough to seal it, right? Oh, I guess you can Pain Split with Rotom. And hope Thunder... Actually, yeah, hope Thunder misses. Or at least that doesn't paralyze you. Or... Do you kill with Hydro Pump? If everyone kills, you might consider it. Because... Then you have a Rotom... Rotom will die to Thunder plus Life Orb plus Sand. I think you have to Pain Split. Oh, we're doing this. Okay. I guess it's a higher chances play. So yeah, this is the right play. Chomp to block the Pain Split. Very nice. Even if Soulwind somehow predicted and Hydro Pump, then it will die to recoil, so that's fine. Or, well, not in... wouldn't die, but it would be low enough to die to one Iron Head. And then John just Draco Meteors, and it's done. Alright, very good game. A lot of mind games, I would say. That's what we love to see. This is what we expect from two players of their caliber. Yeah. Any weird mistakes? No, I wouldn't say so. No, even Gliscor getting exploded on. I see why Soulwind did it. I would have protected because I'm bad at the video game, but you know. Sword and Sea is the better play there. It only loses to Explosion Ferrodon, which you see T-Wave and you're like, surely it's not T-Wave and Explosion. It makes sense because this team gets annihilated by Volca, so I guess it's good to have Explosion. Maybe it was more obvious than I envisioned. But obvious. It's never obvious. Not with dice, at least. Beyond that, what was the Latios set? Specs, right? Oh, unfortunately crit on the Keldeo, though. A Keldeo late game would have been very helpful, I think. Especially for the Rachi. Even if it's only at 30% and dice after 2 rounds of spikes, you still get some use out of it. And then, yeah, you keep your... so what would happen probably is that Keldeo kills Latios, and then Dice is forced to either go Chomp, but then you're playing mind games with Draco versus Earthquake, or you go Zam, but then Soulwind just sacrifices Keldeo to Zam, and then traps with T-Tar. It's not a given that he traps because it was Sash Zam, actually, so maybe not. Need to go back a little bit. Yeah, so maybe not. Still, hey, it gives you more of a chance. Yeah, aside from that, I have no complaints. Good job, both. Lovely game. Hope to see more black and white. Well, there's the finals, right? So I guess we'll have to wait for that. See ya for the next time.